thinking like, I had many and deep conversations with Dave Smith, the inventor of MIDI and this keyboard as well, in terms of like, what is the ultimate instrument? In a way, and Dave often talked about this, when you look at the piano, it's a perfect instrument. It can't really be improved upon. It's 400 years of perfect acoustic tradition. But sometimes to me, I think like, well, maybe if we can't make something better, we can make something different. And a little bit of the same notion goes with the classical orchestra. For example, it's common that we have ensembles of violins. We may have a chamber ensemble of violins, we may have a full ensemble, 11 violins, 6 violins, 2 violins, whatever that number is. That's common, cellos, trumpets, French horns, all the usual suspects. But there are many instruments in the orchestral family that are not in ensembles. And the first notion of this was actually a harp ensemble we did years ago, which we also have in Soundpaint, where I heard about John Williams using multiple harps in his orchestration, and I thought that was so beautiful. So then the thought was like, well, what happens if we do that to other instruments? So in Soundpaint we have xylophone ensembles, marimba ensembles, harp ensembles, piano ensembles, windchime ensembles, all these sort of unusual ensembles, analog synth ensembles, all recorded in beautiful, lush symphonic halls. In this video here, we're going to take it one step further and explore the tubular bell. You may not be familiar with what the tubular bell is. It sounds like a giant church bell, but as the word implies, it's a tube. It's tubular and then bell-like. You hit it with this sort of soft mallet hammer, and it gives this beautiful sound. Commonly in the percussion section in the orchestra, if you use them, you will have one of them because they're fairly beefy sounding. But we were like, no, let's get 4 of them and put them in the hall and try to play them as a beautiful ensemble just to see what happens. Maybe we haven't been there before. Maybe we're exploring something new that eventually will lead to some other beautiful idea. So that's what we did. In the video here, I'm thankfully not going to play them because the sonic virtuoso Nick Semrad was kind enough to drop by and take the Tubular Bell Ensemble for a crazy spin. So without further ado, this is the end result of 4-piece tubular ensemble in Soundpaint.
you.